Hello, hello, and happy Wednesday. Happy Down and Dirty Networking Day. We just had our big event, and I've got a great episode today of our networking know-how that I just couldn't wait to share it with you. So I'm so excited that you're here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are new to watching our episode, jump in and chat. Let me know where you're watching from. Say hello. This is more intended to be a conversation than anything else. So I'm super excited to see you here. Make sure I can see chat. Fantastic. All right. So, if we have not met, I'm Laura Morlando, and I am the Stress Commando and founder and CEO of Down and Dirty Networking. Well, what is Down and Dirty Networking? We are a 100% relational networking community. So, let me explain. Uh, I believe there's two types of networking. There's traditional networking, which is more transactional in nature, and then there's this other way that we call relational networking that we do here in Down and Dirty Networking. So if you've done more of the traditional or transactional networking, it's more of the hi, my name is, buy my stuff. Here's my 30-second commercial. Or maybe you're on social media and you've been on the receiving end of all the pitch slapping that tends to happen. There's a time and place for transactional networking, but it's very much a one-way conversation in general. What I believe is there's another way, relational networking, which is about having meaningful conversations to learn from and about someone to build a lasting and authentic relationship. This is not about transactions. It's about having a two-way conversation. And here at Down and Dirty Networking, we are 100% founded on relational networking. And today we're going to talk about how relational networking ties into the island of alone, but more importantly, what is the real cost of being on the island of alone? And this became a topic today. We had our public event for the, if you made it, it was so good to see you there. And if you missed it, you'll have to wait until April for the next one. We only meet 4 times a year. Otherwise, we're for members only. So if you missed it and you want to make sure you get the invite for the next event that will be happening in April, drop wait list, drop the word wait list in the comments, and I will make sure you get your name added to our wait list. But today there was a really theme going through. We had corporate professionals, we had entrepreneurs, we had retirees, people in transition, and the common theme was really getting feedback and having a really meaningful discussion. And what does it feel like to be all alone and or the only one doing something? And sometimes it can be very isolating, and we like to call that the island of alone. And sometimes we feel we're the only ones that can do something, that we should not ask for help, that we can't ask for help. And so we absolutely put ourselves on the island of alone by just the way we assume that we should do things, and we kind of should on ourselves. And earlier, that was also a topic in one of the program calls that I'm in my mastermind, where people have a tendency to have this dialogue where you're shoulding on yourself. Here's the thing, we all know, think positively, talk positively. I can do it. But we never take the courage to ask for help. But maybe this will help you gain that courage. Is if you really look at the cost of being on the island of alone. One of the things that we know, Cigna has actually deemed that loneliness is an epidemic, and it is as harmful to your health as if you are smoking 15 cigarettes a day, which is pretty significant if that's what you're smoking per day. But what's the dollar cost that is costing you if you're feeling lonely and isolated? And they were saying the cost is $154 billion to employers. So not only is there a physical toll and your shoulders are heavy and you're just feeling really isolated, there is a financial cost to lost productivity for feeling lonely. That's being on that island of alone. We had someone today who was in their office all by themselves and they were just craving that connection, which is exactly what Down and Dirty Networking is all about, is creating that meaningful connection for you to co-elevate and collaborate. And so there's the loneliness epidemic. But here's the cool part that we might not know. Maybe this cool in the sense that it gets us moving to be connected, to be more meaningful, to get ourselves off that island of alone. So the loneliness epidemic costs you 154 billion. Make sure I get this right. That leads to job stress, and so the job stress, according to the American Institute of Stress, they're saying that job stress in the United States cost employers. Care to guess? Anyone have guesses in the chat? The cost to US employers is $300 billion. 300 billion with a B. That's insane. But it leads to, so job stress leads to anxiety and depression. And the World Health Organization has said that depression and anxiety cost the global economy, take a guess, $1 trillion. $1 trillion. There is a significant cost to putting yourself on the island of alone, whether you're an employee, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you are a business owner, it doesn't matter. Whether you're a student, whether you're in transition, being alone is hard. Being on that island of alone is isolating, and most times we put ourselves there. It doesn't need to be a one-way ticket to the island of alone. I am all for taking a step back to recharge and maybe be by yourself. My fellow introverts will be like, yes, I need to recharge and be alone for a little bit. But we do need to reach out for help. We do need connection. And I suspect we all crave connection, but we crave it more meaningful, where we're not doing more of the pitch slapping networking. It's why most people resist networking, because you're asking for something. Everybody today in the event raised their vibrational energy, and some raised it quite significantly. That's important. When you raise your vibrational energy, you have more clarity. You have all of the happy endorphins going. You can actually be hopeful and move forward and realize you're not the only one going through something. People get it. No, you're not crazy. It is amazing what it can do for you when you feel like, oh, people get me, when you are seen, valued, and heard. But when you don't, it just amps up the stress level. It impacts your relationships. It impacts your ability to serve others. Your quality of work declines, your sleep, everything else starts declining, but there's a financial impact that is a chain reaction that goes from loneliness to job stress to the depression and anxiety. It is a huge, huge problem. Cigna deemed loneliness an epidemic in the United States. This is something to take very seriously. So I hope if you're just kind of dismissing it, or maybe you're feeling the stress, but you're shitting on yourself because you shouldn't feel that way, know that you are not alone. Know that there are other people that feel exactly as you do, and there is a real cost. So I want to challenge you to lean into relational networking. And the two steps that you can do it immediately is, with everyone you engage with, treat them like they're instantly your best friend. Whether you do know them and you just haven't connected to them in a while, and the time and distance makes you feel awkward, they're an instant best friend. If they're an instant best friend, the time and distance doesn't matter. If you just met them, they're an instant best friend. It doesn't matter. You're going to lead with kindness and love, and you're going to want to have a meaningful conversation with them. It feels good to give. The surefire way for you to feel connected is to provide service to other people. And today, the conversations people are helping and sharing shared brain power. It was quite remarkable. And people were like, thank you for sharing. And people were like, oh, thank you for listening. Thank you for letting me share that. Go through your day with your family, your coworkers, your vendors, your clients, even the cashier. I've shared a story where I gave this as a workshop in one of my corporate trainings that I did prior to starting Down and Dirty Networking, and it was remarkable what happened. So the short answer, if you have not yet heard this story, it was a 2-week leadership workshop on networking, but it was getting them to talk within the departments and other departments that they didn't work with. And I'd given them various assignments. And one of the homework assignments was to ask this one question of somebody they didn't know or didn't work with all the time. And it couldn't be on social. They couldn't text. They had to do it live. And so the question was from speaker Amanda Gore, who I love this question. It's my favorite question. What's the best thing that's happened to you today? What's the best thing that's happened to you today? And so fast forward, I'm hearing the reports of everything. And as soon as I walk into the room, number one, first time I walked in the room, the language, body language is horrible. Everybody did not want to be there. It was a leadership course. They were mandated to be there. They didn't want to be there. By the time we got to the last class and everyone's in there, they're like, oh my God, I mean, the energy, everyone was talking. I had to settle them all down. The vibrational energy was through the roof. They said, you need to tell Laura what happened. Well, he got busted. He realized it was late in the evening. This was an engineer. It was late in the evening. He hadn't done his homework. So he posted it on Facebook. Never thinking that he had coworkers that are friends with him on Facebook. And sure enough, they busted him. And so he's going through the checkout line at a grocery store because he was picking up some things to make dinner. It was late and he was tired. So he figured, why not? Let me just ask the cashier. He asked the cashier, what's the best thing that's happened to you today? She thinks about it and proceeds to start talking to him and say, well, I attended an audition today. He goes, really? Tell me more. And he leans in. He starts being a super sleuth and actually asking more questions, which is one of our core values here. Talk less, question more. So he started asking her more questions. And he was so excited. She finished checking him out. He stood over to the side. The next person comes through, checks out. They stand over to the side. And little by little, they had this crowd just engaging in this conversation, very interested in what she was doing and supporting her with her audition that she had earlier in the day. Well, come to find out, she was a singer, and that's what she had auditioned for. And they said, "Well, would you mind singing us what you auditioned? What did you audition with?" She goes, "Well, right here." They're like, "Yeah." So she's paused and sang a bit of what was the song that she used in the audition earlier in the day. Everybody applauded her. Everyone had a great experience, and they all left. He went home, his dinner was delicious. Not because he made it delicious, although I'm sure he did, but by his own admission, he's like, Laura, it was a horrible, rough day. I was feeling guilty and I was shooting on myself that I should have done this homework and I got busted by everybody because I cheated and put it on Facebook. He says, but I had an amazing evening. My stress levels melted away. And I was so excited to come back the next day and go back through her line because he buys fresh food to make meals every day. And he would go back through her line, wait for her, and they go, well, how did you hear back? So he needed to know the rest of the story, and he consistently went back through her line. What I found is through this exercise, and every time I've done it over and over, and any time we've done it inside of our community, it raises vibrational energy because it's a positive statement. When you engage in relational networking, you are no longer on that island of alone. In my example, this engineer was no longer on the island of alone, having a stressful day, feeling called out because he, was trying to put it on the Facebook. And this cashier was not on the island of alone, feeling scared and worried. Is she going to get a call back? She already got the standing ovation of everybody in the line. She was feeling amazing. She's like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you asked me this question. It's so, so simple. So, so simple. And earlier today, I heard a great quote, but we have to be open to allow simple. Isn't that powerful? We have to allow it to be that simple. It really, really is. So I hope that you can understand the cost of putting yourself on the island of alone is a physical cost, it is an emotional cost, and there is a dollar cost to loss productivity. You don't need to do it. Engage in relational networking. It is the life raft off the island of alone. You deserve to feel connected. You deserve to feel seen, heard, and value. And I'm so excited that the attendee that was at work all by themselves, I could hear their vibrational energy getting more and more, just getting higher and higher. They were raising that vibrational energy. And I'm so grateful we were able to do that for her today. And so I hope you can do this for yourselves. Get up and chat and let me know. Are you feeling like you're on an island of alone? And what's the thing you're feeling alone on? You can get up and chat, or if you feel more comfortable, private message me, direct message me. Let's start a conversation to see how you can get off this island of alone, leveraging relational networking. It is an absolute game changer. You do not have to do this all alone. I promise you, you don't have to. And if you see someone that looks like they're on the island of alone, do yourself a favor and offer them the life raft. Ask them that question. What's the best thing that happened to you today? And you'll be surprised how you change their energy and in so doing, change yours. It's a fantastic two-way conversation. All right, I hope this has been helpful for you. I was super excited to bring this to you today. And again, thank you if you attended our Down and Dirty Networking Conversations and Connections event. It was so good to see you there. And if you missed it, well, we missed you and you missed a good one. But drop the word waitlist and we'll let you know when we open registration up for the next public event, which will be in April. Right now, all of our events will be closed to members only up until our April event. So drop the word waitlist and we'll keep you posted. And stay tuned. We've got some exciting things that are being announced. Our Down and Dirty Networking Boost newsletter dropped earlier this morning, and we've got a really great article dropping. So make sure you're following us on LinkedIn and Facebook so you can get all of the resources to help you really adopt this relational networking mindset and behavior to just make things easy and simple so that you can get off the island of alone. And if you would like more tips and videos, check out our Down and Dirty Networking YouTube channel and make sure to subscribe. We've got curated playlists that you can check out there, regardless of your situation. And even if you are engaging in traditional or transactional networking, we have tips on how you can leverage a relational networking mindset in traditional networking activities to increase your results, and you're gonna like it a whole lot better. You're not gonna feel all salesy and smarmy. You're gonna enjoy it. So check those out on our YouTube channel, and feel free to DM me if you have any questions. And stay tuned every Wednesday afternoon, sometime between 3:30 and 5:30 p.m. Central. I go live for Networking Know-How. Sometimes it's by myself, and sometimes with a guest. And if you've got a specific topic or question you would like me to answer on a future Networking Know-How, send me a private message or drop it in the comments. And you never know, you might be your topic or question might be answered in a future episode. All right, thanks so much. And until next Wednesday, happy networking.